Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday to everyone. Tamara, hi. Rebecca, hello, Rebecca. Thank you for joining. And Lali and Kaden, Virginia and Jane. Wow, beautiful women. Thank you so much for coming here on this Sunday. I hope your Sunday is going well. We are going to jump right in. I wanted to first start with a little bit of review of what we talked about last week, which had to do with breath fundamentals. And we talked about breath awareness. That's the very first thing. We're talking about how there's a different breath pattern for every emotion, and to be careful of your emotions. When you spin out in these negative type of loops that you go, it will affect your breathing. And most probably, if you get into a negative motion, you're going to start breathing up in the upper chest. And that causes stress. It releases these different hormones. You don't get enough oxygen to your brain and to your body. It wreaks havoc in emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. So being aware of how are you breathing, what are your emotions, and how are you breathing. And a good way to get out of whatever loop that you might be in is to breathe the way that you want to feel. So if you're angry, breathe in a calm manner. So breathe with a big diaphragmatic, that means a lower body breath. Your navel goes out, not pushing out, but it goes out because the diaphragm goes down. And longer exhales. So that's a relaxing type of breath. We know that relaxation is in the exhalation, so have a longer exhale. Maybe you're feeling helpless and depressed, so you need to charge yourself up. So make big inhales, again with a lower body breath, not with the upper body breath. We also talked about last week, how often are we holding our breath during the day, absolutely cutting off all oxygen to our brain, to the rest of our body. And I pointed out that when people are listening, they tend to hold their breath. So just be aware when you're listening to somebody, how are you breathing? A great tip that one of my instructors told me, Dan Brulé, is also when you're listening and you hear something especially powerful or something that you really want to remember, take an inhale. And that breath is an energy, and that can bring that thought or that emotion or whatever you're hearing into your body, kind of cement it. To try that out, especially in how to remember things. And also the second thing that where we hold our breath during the day is when we email and text. There's something called email apnea, the new disorder. And so be aware of how you're breathing when you're emailing and texting, and then breathe consciously, making sure that you have these lower body breaths. If you want to charge up, a bigger inhale. If you want to calm down, a longer exhale than the inhale. And so it's very, very easy fundamentals. It's A, B, C. Be aware of how you're breathing, 10,000 breaths a day. You can be aware of a few throughout the day. And then B, C, breathe consciously. And then last week, we also touched a little bit about where emotions are felt in the body. And we're going to go on a little more on this call to talk about that. The reason being is because this will help you so much in your daily life, understanding how are you really feeling, because the mind is always thinking in the past, thinking the future that won't happen, that will never happen, these worries, frazzled, again, being aware of your breath. It might be because you're breathing differently, wrong. But the body never lies, right? That's what the inner guidance is. And so this will really help in your daily life to just stop. It's a felt sense. How are you really feeling, and where do you feel it in your body, and what does it feel like? And then also it will help you in this breath work because in this breath work, what happens about 10 or 15 minutes in, after we get that steady determination of the breath, the thinking mind shuts off. You go into this deep meditative state. And so you're going to hear language from your inner self that it's not a thought. It's not like our usual language that we hear in our head, but you're going to hear a different type of language. So how do you interpret what your body, what your inner self is really saying? And many times it has to do with what is going on in your body, a constriction or an expansion, a numbness, a tingling, a twitch, whatever that is, just being aware of that and what it might mean to you. Your body, yourself, your inner self is also talking to you in a different language, maybe by symbols in the breath work, maybe by memories. It's a totally different way of communicating with yourself during this breath work. And so these emotions and where they're felt in the body, we're going to talk a little bit about that now. So I'm going to share this, this emotional, whoa, I just gave you the end of the story. And so here is an emotional guidance scale. Now, these aren't all the emotions, of course, but they are some pretty major ones. And you can see on the left, there's an upward spiral of emotions, and on the left or on the right, there's a downward spiral. So we'll start with the upward spiral, but let's start at the very bottom, number 7, the contentment. So there's contentment. It climbs up as you go up and up. It's a bigger, more expansive feel, hopefulness, optimism, positive expectation and belief, enthusiasm, passion, and the very top, the greatest feeling that you're going to have: joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. Now, if you don't have a gratitude practice, that is something please look into, because it is so powerful to have a daily gratitude practice, because you get to the top of the emotion spiral. This is the very best that you can feel. And having that daily gratitude practice, it can be so transformational. And then we'll go to the right, the downward spiral. So it starts with boredom, pessimism, frustration, impatience, overwhelm, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, insecurity. Look how far down that is, and unworthiness and guilt. And then at the very bottom, the fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and victim. I wanted to especially point out the very top here, boredom. Be very careful of boredom, because you can see that it can be a downward spiral. It's the start of a downward spiral. I know that when I was working through certain issues and I had released them, I don't think about them when I'm doing my daily work and I'm busy and I'm feeling great and everything. But the moment I went into a boredom, I went down into this issue again, even though it was a dead issue. There was nothing, there was no zing there anymore. The tie was cut. But what it was I went into boredom, and then I had grooved myself into a pattern so much that I fell down into this negative thing. So be very careful of boredom, because it is the start of a downward spiral. And then I also wanted to point out the very bottom here, number 22, powerlessness and victimhood. Now see how, if you ever get into this type of thing, one of the greatest tips that I can give you is to give yourself a choice. They've done studies with clinically depressed people, chemically imbalanced, chemically depressed, divided up into 2 groups. And one group they just left as they were, and the other group they worked with them in order to give them choices. And it was unbelievable the amount of improvement that the group that had actual choices, that they had some personal choice, could get out of the depression. So that's a little trick here. If you ever get way, way down there into powerlessness and victimhood, that victim thing is a slippery slope. So I want you to think about the past 3 months of your life, so March, April, and May. And can you think of 2 or 3 of your guiding emotions that you've had in the past 3 months? You can use these that you see here, or maybe there's something that that you felt that's not on here, which is fine. This is not a complete list. And just think, what was your guiding emotion? What were the emotions that you've been feeling in the past 3 months? 2 or 3 of them. And I do this exercise. I used to teach a 2 or 3 hour class on this in Phuket Cleanse, and I would start with this. And there are about 20 people in the room, each week different people. And we would start with this, and I would ask people in the past year, this was before this COVID, in the past year, what were the 2 or 3 guiding emotions, the most prevalent emotions that you were experiencing throughout every day? And they would write them down on little pieces of paper. Everything was incognito, put it in a basket, and I would open them and read them. And every single week, with different people, the same emotions came up that they lived with that was their strong emotion in the past week, in the past year. That was anger, fear, grief, doubt, and overwhelm. Anger, fear, grief, doubt, and overwhelm. Week after week after week, different people said that's what they were stuck with throughout the past year. Now I bring that up because number one, I want everybody to know you're not alone when you're feeling these things. Instagram is not real. We are all struggling with this. And most people, when they're in these negative emotions, they feel like they're the only people in the world that's going through this. So just be aware that you're not, all right? That you have others that are like that, vulnerability. And number two, also be aware that if you're feeling that way, and if I've said that the past, 200 people or so that I was doing this exercise with had this, know that when you're talking to someone and they're reacting in a different way, reacting instead of responding or blowing up or something, also know that they're probably going through the same thing also. So always be kind to others, be kind to yourself, knowing that you're not alone in these things. But there is ways to get out of this. And then going on, this is a big long slide that of course I'm not going to read it all, but I wanted to tell you about this body armoring. It's kind of like the chakra system, but it's the 7 belts of tension that results when energy is bound by muscular contraction and does not flow through the body. And these things develop as a defense against the breakthrough of overwhelming emotions and organ sensations. So if you ever know somebody, or maybe it's yourself, you can tell just by the way that they hold their body what they have been going through, maybe for years or decades. A broken heart, they might be cowering. If the weight of the world on their shoulders, it might be some shoulder problems. And it leads into this emotional centers of the body. And last week we talked a little bit about how in every culture and in the world and in every language, they're the same sayings. And we're looking up here, how about the weight of the world on your shoulders, right? So this is where those things are held in our body. Burdens and responsibilities, carrying a heavy load, inner and outer world burdens. And you know that people, oh, just swallow it. I'm just going to swallow it. Here's where this self-expression, right? Inability to speak the feelings in the throat area. So you might feel that constriction in your throat area. Most probably all of us has gone through some sort of heartbreak or grief or sorrow. And this is where it's held in the heart. You can feel this almost this tenseness or this heartbreak when you're going through something like this. That fear center is kind of right here in the solar plexus. You ever feel kind of like this gut feeling that your gut kind of clenches up when you're scared? And then, of course, this whole bottom, this root chakra, this survival center, this childhood issues, violations related to surviving, traumas, accidents. All of these things are actually held in these certain parts of the body. And this is what I want you to be thinking of or be aware of actually during your daily life. Where do you feel these certain things? And a lot of times all you need to do is get down to it and feel it, and then it releases. So you may be thinking that you're feeling angry, and you feel into your body, and actually you go down a couple layers and it might be grief or sorrow. So the more that you know yourself, the more that you can transform, the more that these root issues that are holding you back can be let go of. So we're going to do a little exercise here. You will not have to ever show this to anybody. This is a 10-minute, one of those speed rounds that Melanie likes. A letter I've never sent. Who would you like to send a letter to that you've never sent? Now, maybe the first person that pops into your mind is that person that you need to do that to. And it can be to yourself. And it can be full of anger and rage. It can be full of gratitude and love, whatever comes up. So get out your journal or get out a piece of paper, and you're going to have 10 minutes. Who is this letter to? And then what's the emotion do you feel before writing it when you think of this person and what you're going to write? Write down that emotion at the beginning, and then just go ahead and write. Don't just stream of thought, right? You don't have to spell things correctly. It doesn't have to be pretty. You're never going to have to share this. So just 10 minutes, and I will tell you when 5 minutes is up and 1 minute. So just go ahead and write. And it's only been 5 minutes, so you still have 5 minutes more. And just 1 minute more, you can wrap up your letter. 1 more minute. And we'll move on to this next part, still dealing with that letter. So, what main emotions did you have when you wrote that letter? One or two, you can put three if you want, but what are those main emotions? And write those down. They might pop up to you right away. If not, you can close your eyes and just kind of breathe in and feel. Is there some sort of constriction somewhere? And what does that mean? Or an expansion? And then draw a little stick figure and circle, where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel emotion 1? Where do you feel emotion 2? Where do you feel emotion 3? And again, if this is a little difficult for you, just close your eyes and breathe, and you'll be able to feel something different, something catchy, something expansive, something hard, something open. And next to those things on your body, I want you to think about, again, this may be a little very subtle, but can you describe it? Can you write it as if you were describing it to a sketch artist? So, for instance, I'll give an example. There is a constriction in my throat. It's like a ball. It's dense, kind of at the base of my throat, like a lump. It's hard, and it's a dark red color. So all those different things, like this is a little exercise to help you with the breath work also, that you're thinking of this objectively. Yeah, you're not thinking it of anger. You're thinking it as, like I use the thing of anger, a constriction, a ball, the base of my throat makes me hard to swallow. So again, just looking at it objectively, what does this feeling look like if you had to describe it to a sketch artist to draw? I'm doing this exercise again to link with the breath work, because a lot of times, again, the inner voice, this inner guidance speaks to you in a different language, and it can be these physical sensations. And many times I will keep asking you, just notice what's different. Just notice what's different in your body. Sometimes you might feel like, for instance, one time I felt a numbness in both of my knees when I was breathing. And I just noticed it. I was like, well, that's weird. I've never felt that before in a breath work. Just noticing it, it's a numbness, it's kind of fuzzy around my knees. And I then left it, kept breathing, went back to the breath, went back to the breath. And then a minute or so later, all of a sudden, I felt this warmth coming up from my knees all the way up my body. Something had released. Now, I don't know what that was. And it doesn't matter if you know what it is or not. What it was a signal to you. It was a signal that something's there. I was aware of it. And then it was released. And then there was no more numbness there. There was an energy that was somehow stuck in there, and it came up. And a lot of times I hear people saying that I have something and it's not moving. And so one tip that I'm having for you is just notice it, describe it. The thing is that these things shift and change. So as I said, my knee was numb, and then it turned into warmth and energy that moved up. If something is in your body during the breath work that you notice a heaviness and it's not moving anywhere, and you're describing it, it's a heaviness that's in my stomach, it's kind of square, it's pressing, it's a dark blue, it's this, it's that, and you come back to it, it's still not moving, making sure that these things like to move up. So make sure, can you maybe put your exhale into it, bring warmth and energy to kind of dissolve it? Can you put your hands on that area to bring healing into it? Can you open? Is it trying to move and there's something blocking up here? Can you breathe into your heart, opening your heart? Can you open up your throat? A lot of times things, especially women, it goes all the way up into their throat and it gets caught in their throat because we don't say a lot of times what we need to say, or we're brought up in a culture where we don't do that. Now, these letter writing things can be so powerful. I know one time I wrote something about being so guilty about not spending enough time with my dad before he died, and I wasn't there when he died. And I started writing the letter about that, and it turned all the way around just in 10 minutes to forgiveness. Another time I started writing about it to a relationship, blame, anger, rah, 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 rah. And at the end of the thing, I looked, I was like, oh, wow, I, that's me. It was me. I shouldn't have been in that. He didn't want me at the beginning. I don't know why I kept clamoring. And so you, again, you layer, 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 keep knowing yourself, because it's always something probably a little deeper than what you're working on. And the more that you go deep, the more freedom that you can have with this work. This I want to show you because again, we're constantly, we think that I think that I've had an issue be released and then 6 months later it comes back again. Know that the path isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. You continually come back to things you thought you understood and see deeper truths. You might say, well, why bother doing it? Because you get more and more and more freedom, more and more knowledge about yourself. Your life becomes more and more expansive, more and more flow, more and more ease and magic. And this also, Melissa may remember this from our Moscow times, success, what people think it is. They think it's just, I do this and I'll get success. Know that success is not like that. Again, you go up and then you go back down again. You go up and around and you go back down. So you may feel really good with these intention games work, and the next day you slip down. Just keep moving up. The same with breath work. Some experiences may be fantastic, and the next time you do it, you don't really get a lot. But it's something, right? You're going to be releasing something. You're going to experiencing something. So just be aware that everything that you're doing is a freedom. It will help you. It will help your life. So we will go on into the breath work now. Before we actually do it, I'll give you a little break in case you need to go to the bathroom, but I just want to go over the breath itself. I know a lot of you were on the call. I think all of you were on one of the calls last week. And so the breath is the conscious connected breath. It looks like this. In and out through the mouth. The mouth stays in one position. It doesn't staying in one position. One tip for you to do that is to get out of your attention on your head. When you're inhaling, think about the breath is coming in through your navel area or through your heart area. And then all of a sudden your mouth will stop doing that. The emphasis is on the inhale. You're doing the inhale. The exhale is a letting go. So what I don't want you to do is or controlling the exhale. It's just a collapse. Knowing that you're doing a lower body breath, you're breathing from the bottom to top, side to side, front to back. So get away from this. It's a lower body breath, and we'll work on that just a little bit before we really get into that. And again, what I want to just give you a review of what you might experience. You're charging yourself up with energy. Your inhale is a little longer than your exhale. You're bringing more oxygen in. So you're going to feel the energy building in certain ways, in different ways. You may feel tingling or numbness in your hands or feet or around your mouth. You might get something called tetany, which is this numbness. If it gets too much, it becomes painful, slow down your breathing or breathe in and out through your nose for a couple of minutes. You might get sleepy. Again, this is up to you. If you start to get sleepy, it's going to feel so good to go to sleep. You need to get yourself out of that little stage by taking 3 or 4 really, really big breaths to get out of that stage. You might get something called checking out. It's when it's not going to sleep. It's actually an exhalation hold, and you can really not keep yourself out of it. But I'll be speaking every once in a while when the music is playing, so hopefully something will pop you out of it. It's a beautiful place to be, so don't worry about it. And again, the mind, what you're doing is you're putting the mind to sleep. It's going into a deep meditation. The mind does not want to go to sleep. It's a little kid. I want water. I want this, da, da, da. So we'll start playing these mind games. This isn't working. I don't want to do it. This is boring. It's not for me. So just know that that's the mind games. It might be saying, I have to go to the bathroom, when that's what I'm telling you, go right now. It might be saying a lot of times itches on the face or in the ears because the mind wants you to touch your face to wake yourself up. So if you can, just say, there's an itch on my face, there's an itch in my ear. Don't do anything about it. And I swear in just a couple of 30 seconds, that itch will go away. It's just a mind game. You may have emotions that come up. If they come up, let them out, crying, laughing, screaming, whatever it is. You may have sensations, those bodily sensations. You may have, like I said, those emotions that are kind of giving things. You might have little jerks that happen, little releases that happen. You may have symbols that come up. If you know exactly what that symbol is, then that's what it is. If you don't grasp on it. You'll figure it out. It's just language that you don't need to know. Don't get your mind involved in that. You might have memories that come up. If you know why that memory has come up during this, then that's the reason. If you don't, again, don't worry about it. Just keep breathing. And once again, if this becomes too intense, whether you're becoming crampy or whatever that is, know that you're always in charge of your breath. No matter what rhythm I am suggesting that you do what you feel that you need to do, and you can always come back to nose breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, girly girls, let's get started. So I would like you, again, to start on your stomach. Starting on your stomach, bringing your elbows up to your shoulder height. Your palms are on the mat. Your fingers are facing towards the mat. And then bring your head on whatever side that is most comfortable to you. And start doing that connected breath. Inhaling and exhaling, taking away that pause. There's no pause in this. So how you first do that is you start really thinking about that inhale. Where am I going to start that inhale? And you have to start it just a little sooner. Getting into that rhythm. Know that this is, going to take a couple minutes as you get into this rhythm. Maybe you have to adjust your head and do a body scan, starting from your toes and going up to the top of your head, making sure that everything is relaxed. You want to spread your hips out a little, widen your legs a little, and pay careful attention to your shoulders. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears on your next inhale and just become like puddled out. So now your body is relaxed, your neck, your jaw. You're getting into this rhythm of that conscious connected breath. Even though this is a slow breath to begin with, it's never shallow. Going to the edge of how deep you can make it. It always has to be a deep breath. And now pay attention to how the breath is pushing your body against the mat. Where do you feel your body being pushed first on the inhale? If you feel only your heart area is being pushed down, put your attention down into your navel area, bringing that breath down there, this diaphragmatic breath. and feeling that the breath is first pushing your lower body, your navel area, your solar plexus onto the mat first, and then it goes up, and then you can feel your heart area kind of pushing down on the inhale. And can you feel the collapse when you exhale? Is your body just collapsing? Inhaling from bottom to top. Feeling how the breath is pushing your body onto the mat. Your neck is relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed. And now let's start thinking about how you're breathing horizontally, starting down in your pubic bone area, your hips. Can you feel a horizontal expansion on your inhale? Maybe on the back of your hips, what's not on the mat. Can you feel them kind of expanding out horizontally on your inhale? And then moving up, you can feel your ribs expand as your lungs are filling full of air. Can you feel this energy moving on your inhale and exhale like you're a fish, like a fish breathes with the gills going out? Horizontally breathing. Now pay attention to the back part of your lungs, that which is not on the mat. Can you feel them expand on your inhale? Inhaling from front to back. You're now doing full body breathing, bottom to top, side to side, and front to back. Super breathing. Now wherever you are, take an exhale and take a big inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and pause your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't exhale, take another breath. Top that off and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top it off. Inhale again. And hold, 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 and exhale. See, you can inhale even more than you think. Inhale again for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Inhale again, top that off. Can you bring it up under your collarbones? You can bring it and hold it. 3, 2, 1, and exhale. And go ahead and position yourself on your back. And that exercise had to do with you can inhale even more than you think. Go to the limits. Let that oxygen, that energy, be in parts of your lungs that hasn't had it for a long time. Position yourself on your back. If you're using a pillow, make sure that your head is not too high. With a straight neck, of course you can use a pillow. And then do another body scan like we did before, making sure that your body is completely relaxed, starting from your toes up to the crown of your head. Paying special attention to your shoulders, your neck, the base of your throat, your jaw. Opening up your mouth. Maybe you move your jaw side to side, get all relaxed, opening up your mouth into that wide open, that sweet spot where there's no tension, putting your tension down into where you feel the breath moving your body. You may want to put your hand on that navel area to begin. and start getting into this lullaby. This is a rocking your mind to sleep with this circular breath. Now, this is going to be slow, but again, deep. You can breathe in different parts of your lungs that you didn't think. Do your own rhythm as you're getting used to this conscious, connected breath, as you feel it's a never-ending breath. No jagged edges, rounded. It's like an oval from the root of you to the top of your head and down again. And these first 10 minutes, your mind is going to be awake. Whenever you have a thought come in, just come back to, where do I feel that inhale? Where am I grabbing that inhale? Bringing that inhale all the way from bottom to top, side to side, and front to back. And the exhale again is a collapse. It's a letting go. It's a releasing. Going to the edge of your fullness on the inhale. Exploring how elastic your lungs are. Relax the back of your throat, allowing full, deep, complete breaths. Just getting into that circular rhythm. It's slow, but it's deep. And now listen to your breath. Listen to your breath right now. Now that you're into this beautiful circular breath, never-ending breath, knowing that the inhale is active, the exhale is passive, I'll ask you to go up a notch on the rhythm, bringing in even more energy to your body with an even faster inhale. Now this faster rhythm may be not quite so easy at the beginning, but no, just like when you first start riding a bike, you get a little wobbly, but then you get the rhythm of the pedals and you get the speed going and you fly off. So you just know just to think about the inhale, especially on this faster breath. And because it is a faster rhythm, you may have tensed up your body in some way. So can you pay attention to your shoulders, your neck, your head? Relax them. And always know that your exhale is meant for releasing. Your exhale is meant for letting go. So you can put your exhale into any part of your body that is tense. It will melt it away. Keeping that breath connected. Deep connected breaths, always connected. Super breathing. Gently letting go of any thoughts, any demands, letting that breath bring you into the presence, into the now, into only this moment. This breath is the only thing that exists. Matching your breath to the rhythm of the music. You may be feeling some different sensations in your body now, some tingling or numbness. Again, all you do is notice, celebrate this. You're building energy. This is how this energy is showing up in your body. How powerful are you? Remember, these first 10 or so minutes, it's a steady climb. It's your climb. You have to put steady determination into it. It's this part of the breathwork session where you're rocking your mind to sleep by only thinking of the breath. Determined breath. Thoughts can come, but let them go by putting your attention on the inhale. Charging yourself full of energy, filling your cells with oxygen. Opening up the back of your throat, relaxing your throat, but putting your attention out of that head area. And again, just notice. What is coming up? Is there a tingling, a numbness, an openness, a hardness? All you need to do is notice and go back to the breath. That's all your inner guidance wants you to do. Look at me, and then go back to breathing. And it will take care of itself. And you're more than welcome to bring in any sort of body movement to support this breath. Maybe you want to arch your back on that inhale. Maybe you want to use your hands to direct that energy of the inhale up. Whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't bring tenseness to you, as long as it is helping this building of the energy, helping the inhale, helping the relaxation. Steady determination. Deep connected breaths, always connected. Is there a space you can open up inside of you by either bringing in that inhale to it or putting your exhale into it to open it up. Keep noticing what's different. Where's that energy gathering? Or where's the energy flowing? Do you feel any blockages where the energy may be needing to move around? Do you feel the breath somehow moving in different parts of your body by itself? It does. It places itself in different parts. All you do is notice. Bigger inhales. Go to your edge. Explore how elastic your lungs are, even though it's fast. It's filling all the way up. You've got it. You can do it. You're doing it. Always scanning. Can something else be relaxed in your body? Put that exhale into releasing, into letting go. Is there a part of your body that needs your attention? If you put your attention there and there is a message for you, what would it be? Let go of that thought. A different language. You're speaking a different language now. No more thoughts. Feeling that energy building. What you're doing is you're just building energy right now, bringing as much oxygen as you can, being as relaxed as you can, filling yourself full, opening places that have not been opened for a long time, letting the energy flow, 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 and noticing, just noticing differences. Keeping awake. Our bodies are a library of our whole life, a cellular memory. of our entire life. Is there something that's been stored away improperly that can be released or that wants you to be aware of? Getting out of the mind, always into the body. What are your sensations? What is the breath doing? What are the changes? Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. You're still on the climb. Always in control. You're always in control of your breath. You can go slower if you want, but no, you always need to go deep. Never slow and shallow. Go deep. But you can do whatever rhythm you want. In this last climb that we're going to do, the music picks up just a little faster. So I invite you, if you're ready, to go ahead and go just a little faster on the breath. Again, we're almost reaching that peak. This is the climb. Steady determination of the breath. Full inhale. And exhale is a collapse, a letting go. Each exhale brings more relaxation into your body. It releases more of everything. Even though this is a faster rhythm, you're not bringing tension into your body. You're still completely relaxed. The only thing that's moving is that breath. Everything else is relaxed. This is the last fast segment as we're reaching the top. But always you are in control. If you're becoming tensed up, put that exhale into those body parts that are tense. Can you think of it as a warmth? Can you think of it as melting that tension, that exhale? Noticing what's different, noticing what's different, and then coming back to the inhale. Inquiry into, does anything in my body sensations, is it giving me a message? Why? Why is it there? Is it love? Is it expansiveness? Is it joy? Or is it something else, a little heavier? Whatever it is, it's a message to you in a language that's not your usual language. Your inner self is speaking to you, images, memories, symbols, bodily sensations, and all you need to do is notice them, and it does the work for you. Deep connected breaths, always connected. Can you feel your energy expanding horizontally on that inhale? Remember, when you say yes, the universe helps you. Say yes, say yes. Maybe a body part needs your special attention. Maybe you need to bring your hands to that body part, helping the release or helping healing, whatever you want to do. Where's that energy gathering? Where's that energy flowing? How's the breath changing? Messages. Don't put your active mind into it. Your inner self knows. You're almost to the peak. Keep going. Steady determination. This is the last of the fast breath. You're almost there. You're doing great. You're always doing great. Letting go of your shoulders, letting go of your neck. What space can you open up where else can you put that breath? Is there a space you've not explored yet, that you haven't opened up yet? Can you open it even with the exhale, releasing something, letting go of a tension, letting go of a blockage, open up more space, open up more flow. Any way that you need to move your body to release any built up energy is fine. Do you need to shake your hands? Do you need to shake your feet? Do you need to move in any way to release any buildup of energy? Go ahead and do that. Come back to relaxation. Only one more minute. Almost to the peak, almost there, almost there. You've got it, you've got it. You're doing great. Now come back to a slower breath, still connected, still deep, but slower. Whatever rhythm you want, but make sure that it's deep, not shallow. Make sure it's connected. Coming into whatever rhythm of breath that's comfortable for you. Still deep, still connected. You've been at the peak, you've reached the peak. What is the view? What is the feeling? See yourself through the eyes of your soul. You are protected. You are loved. You are safe. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders, and just bask in this circular breath, the top of your climb. do you really want in life? What can you release? What burden are you carrying that you no longer need? Freedom, flow, magic. This is you. Deep, full, slow breaths. Just one breath. No beginning, no end. Can you feel that love? Can you feel that love? Safe, protected, loved, abundant. You can come back to a regular breath if you'd like. If it feels good to continue on this conscious breath, go ahead and do that. But if you'd like, go ahead and go back to nose, in through the nose and out through the nose. You don't need to connect it anymore. And just feel and just be. Giving thanks to yourself. Giving love to yourself. Receiving love from the universe. We're all one. We're all energy. Can you feel your expansiveness? You are so much more than you ever realized. You're boundless. Your energy, your abundance, your pure love. Those of you who are still doing the connected breath, I invite you to come back to the nose breathing, regular in and out through the nose. Slowly, slowly, slowly end this breath work. Always knowing to come out of it very slowly. Start wiggling your fingers and toes. Rotating your wrists and ankles. If you want to stay where you are and not come out of it, that is perfectly fine too. But whenever you do, make sure that you come out of it slowly. And making sure that when you do end this breath work for yourself, if you're not going to do it now, make sure that you root yourself. Place your feet flat on the mat as you're lying down in your hands and breathe into the earth. Breathe into this rooted feeling. Can you feel the root of your spine connecting to the mattress? You may want to come on your favorite side and curl up just a bit before sitting up. And again, this is up to you if you want to stay where you are. I do recommend that you write anything that came up during this breath work. If you felt tension somewhere, if you had a memory, if you had an image, and what did it mean to you at the time? Don't overanalyze these things. If you know exactly what it means, that's what it meant. Sometimes days later, you'll find that's what it meant. That was the message. Even little muscle spasms, little releases, huge transformation can come out of that. The next day can be very different for you, just from a little twitch that happened during a deep inner state that you are in during breath work. And everything that came up during this time, if you were in a deep state, was a message to you. And it doesn't matter if you don't remember it. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it means. That inner work was done. I'd love to thank you all for being on this call on this Sunday, the last day of May. And I wish you a very happy rest of the weekend. And please be sure to text me, WhatsApp me with any questions that you have or any experiences that you want to share. I love to hear from you and love to work with you through this. I know that it's absolutely transformational, freeing, magical flow can happen from series of breathwork sessions like this. So, bye guys. Hey, I just also want to say tomorrow is Mel's birthday, June 1. So you might want to give her a little happy birthday message. I don't know how old she is. So thank you all. You are beautiful angels. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.